What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody's had an excellent weekend. A bit cold here in New Jersey, so I'm looking forward to the 50s this week. And then today was the first Sunday without legitimate football on, which completely sucks. So you're looking forward to the Super Bowl and the offseason, obviously. But this week will be a long week in terms of speculation and rumors. When it comes to clickbait and everything else, you're going to see it all because the New York Jets will be associated with it. They're desperately in the market for a quarterback. And there's a couple out there, so, people are going to be chasing stories, chasing headlines, and clicks, and likes, and retweets. So the one name that's been brought up a lot, especially on our show, and it seems to have the fan base divided, is Derek Carr. Now, I think if Aaron Rodgers wasn't in the picture, where he is with the Packers, I think Derek Carr would probably be the number one option for all fans, and they'd be all in. But with Rodgers lingering out there, everybody's like, screw Carr, we want Rodgers. And I get it. Aaron Rodgers is still, the tail end of his career, still a very good quarterback. He brings the swag, he brings a resume, he brings all of these things, and he has ties to Nathaniel Hackett. But the timeline with Rodgers could be difficult depending on when he decides if he wants to play and where he wants to go. Meanwhile, you have Carr out there where it appears that the Raiders are not going to trade him. I guess they have teams where they've agreed upon compensation where Carr can talk to those teams, but obviously he's got a no-trade clause. So, I'm thinking that it's going to go to February 15th. He gets released. And then it's going to open market. And then I think if that happens, I'm not sure if the Jets will be big bidders or if they're going to even get him to begin with. But when you look at him as the player, he's not as bad as people think. And the one thing I guess we all got to agree upon is that there is not a legitimate long-term answer, top 5 quarterback currently available. Lamar Jackson's not going to be available. He's going to get the exclusive franchise tag. He's gone. That's it. So it's going to be Rodgers, Carr, or you're looking at Tannehill, Jimmy Garoppolo, everything else. And let's be honest, if you bring in a Ryan Tannehill here, it's not going to inspire anybody. I want nothing to do with Jimmy G. I'm just not interested personally. If you give me Baker Mayfield, whatever, we're going down a path that we know what's going to happen. So it's like, what is so bad about Derek Carr where half this fan base is like, absolutely no way? When you look at some of his stats, and he's turning 32 years old, he's also been a quarterback that's had 5 head coaches and 5 different coordinators. Not ideal. You had a dysfunctional Raiders organization where it's funny how Jet fans are saying all these things. And you look at this dysfunction the Jets have had, but Carr has dealt with a lot, and he's also put up pretty impressive numbers. He had a year where he was probably a leading candidate for the MVP before he got hurt. He doesn't miss a lot of time, a very durable player, and he has some stats where you look at the stats he's put up and compare it to what we've seen with the Jets. It's like, dude, this guy, he'd be a legend at this point. He had 4 consecutive 4,000-yard seasons, 34 300-yard games, 33 game-winning drives. He made 3 Pro Bowls, the 4th one this year, which whatever, but he has an excellent resume. Now, the thing is, people are saying, well, can he go out and beat the Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and everything else? And the thing is, you never know with the quarterback. A change of scenery, he could blossom. But the quarterback is only going to be as good as the offensive line in front of him, the playmakers he has, and the coaching, the coordinator. How many times you could have a good quarterback with bad coordinators and it's going to be a complete mess? We've seen it front and center with ourselves, with the Jets. So it's like, how much faith do you have in Nathaniel Hackett? Or is Nathaniel Hackett only going to be good if Aaron Rodgers comes here? And if that's the case, that's a huge concern because if Rodgers does come to the Jets, it's probably 1 or 2 years at most. So if Carr came here, what's to say you can't catch lightning in a bottle for the next 4 years and you get very good quarterback play? And the thing is, if you want to talk about beating teams in the playoffs, you know how you're going to have to do that? With well-rounded teams. You look at the games, like the Chiefs. The Chiefs won because their defense was ridiculous. The Bengals are winning games. Yes, you have Joe Burrow. The defense was ridiculous. So you have to have a well-rounded team. You have to have a very good defense, very good special teams, and very good coaching. Time management, clock management, handling the roster and everything else. So I don't know why people are discounting Derek Carr to the point they say absolutely no way. He won't do this. He won't do that. I think he's still a good quarterback. Where you rank him, top 15 or not, I think with the playmakers here, when you look at hopefully a healthy Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, they'll probably bring somebody else in because Corey Davis is going to be gone. I think there's enough weapons here where he could flourish as long as you have the right system for him. Now, the right system, this is where it comes with the hiring of Hackett because what is their vision? They had to sell Hackett on something. They had to say, we want to bring your offense here because we have quarterback X in mind. Did the Jets have Aaron Rodgers in mind the entire time when they hired Hackett? Or did they say, you know what, we think we're going to bring in this player? Because you have to have some really good tea leaves for Hackett to give up the money he was making to come here, you had to sell him some kind of vision. And I'm sure if the vision was Rodgers, that's quite interesting because you better make it happen then. So share your thoughts on what you think about Derek Carr. I mean, to me, in many ways, I just think if once he becomes a free agent, I think the Jets aren't going to get him, and then you're going to be sitting there looking like we better get Rodgers, and that could play out for a long period of time, and a lot of other options are going to go out the window, and then we could be talking about a Tannehill, Brissett, or something else, which is not ideal in a season where the Jets have to win, man. Like Saleh and Douglas' jobs are on the line. They can't right now. They currently can't sell tickets. I mean, you signed your DE or F option here. You ain't selling tickets. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think about Derek Carr. And I know that people are going to say he can't win cold weather games. He can't do this. Like I said, you can pick out stats to make or break your case. But I think the one stat you got to look at is he's been a very productive NFL quarterback.